Well, there's so many fond memories that I have of Alan over the nearly 10 years that I knew him. The tough part is to kind of narrow it down to just a few to share here today, but I wanted to take the time to do that because he was such a special person. And I have to start out saying that Alan and my relationship did not start out exactly right. When I first joined the company, one of the first projects that Mark Lavallo gave me was to plan and organize a celebration event for the outside sales and inside sales teams and their families in Charleston. It was a very good year business-wise, and it was a chance just to celebrate that. So there was a lot of orchestration that had to go through that, and on that weekend, there were a lot of activities, but the last night we were going to have a dinner and an award ceremony. So I don't know whether it was miscommunication or misunderstanding or what the deal was, but the Tindalls arrived just a little bit late for the dinner. Alan did not like to be late. And so he made it a point to come over to me and tell me how disappointed he was in the fact that I was not clear in my communication on the dinner and everything. But Dominique was there with him. She patted him on the arm and said, "Alan, it's okay. It's, everything's okay." And so a few minutes later, a little while later, my wife Renee actually went over to their table and sat down with them and tried to soothe things over a little bit. And I was grateful that later on that evening, Alan and I were actually able to have a civil conversation, and our relationship grew from there. And over the years, I got a chance to not only interface with him quite a bit, but also to travel with him a few times. And that was just a unique opportunity to see what Peter and Mark and Robin and everybody has talked about, the relationship that he had with his customers. And Jeremy, I know that that's near and dear to your heart. I mean, the respect that they had, the expertise that he had, the experience, the honesty, integrity, all the qualities that have been talked about here were so evident when you traveled with Alan. I mean, the respect that he got from his customers was amazing. It always lifted me up when I would answer the phone, and in that Scottish accent, he would say, "Mr. Zeiger Z." That's what he called me. And it just immediately lifted my spirits right there, no matter what I was doing. We'd talk about whatever the topic was at the moment. He would tell me about the latest polytunity that he was following. That was one of his favorite words, was a polytunity. There was never any problem. It was always a polytunity that he was trying to work his way through. And so it was just, when I hung up the phone after talking to Alan, I always felt better than when I answered the phone in the first place. He was just that kind of person. And from a marketing standpoint, one of our primary jobs is always to try to help the sales team, the regional managers and industry managers, to provide them with the tools that they need to do their job better. And a lot of times that involves getting feedback from them, asking their thoughts, their ideas. What do you think about this? Do you have some feedback for us? And truth be known, we feel like if we get about 50% response, that's pretty good. But I can tell you, I can never remember a case where Alan did not get back to us with his thoughts and ideas. And from a standpoint, that just meant so much to us, because that was almost gospel for us. That was the voice of the salesperson, the regional manager in the field with their hand on the pulse of the customer, and it meant so much to us. And he was just such a prince at doing that, and it was a reflection on how he valued the job that we had to do in terms of helping him do the job that he had to do. So the one last thing that I want to share too had to do with our trade show activities, and particularly ConExpo. And for those of you that may not be aware, ConExpo is a week-long endurance contest that happens every 3 years or so in Las Vegas. Huge event, 1 million square feet plus. It really is an endurance contest, as I said, and each day, it's 5 days of the guys being on their feet, meeting with customers, dealing with prospects, whatever the case might be, whatever the need was on the trade show floor, and then typically going out to dinner that night with customers or prospects or whatever the case might be. And so obviously at the end of the week, the guys that are manning the booth, it's like, they can't wait to get out of there, to get home. get their feet up, to rest up, that kind of thing. But in the 3 con expos that I have been involved with since I've been at Polydeck, every time, a few weeks before the event, I'd pick up the phone, Mr. Zeiger Z, do you need any help packing up the booth at the end of the show? And it's like, wow. Because to me, that was Alan. That was like no job was finished until the last detail was taken care of. And he was always willing to roll up his sleeves, do whatever it took to finish the job. So I just have so many fond memories of Alan. I'll carry him with me always. And his passing has left a deep void in the heart of Polydeck. I can tell you that right now.